Welcome to Akshara online classes. This is Gafar sir, your physics faculty. Let's start our session. In the previous class we completed about distance and distance we completed. Now I'll explain displacement. So I'll start the displacement, because displacement, distance and velocity, speed as well as acceleration, these are belongs to the physical quantities to study the motion of the object. Actually we are learning kinematics part. This kinematic parts is related to motion chapter, so we'll explain now the displacement now. So I shall start the displacement. So write down displacement. Displacement. What is mean by displacement? Displacement is nothing but the distance in one direction. The distance in a specified direction. In a specified direction, the distance in a specified direction is said to be displacement. The distance in a specified direction is said to be displacement. And also in another way also we can define the shortest length between initial and final position is said to be displacement. So the distance in a specified direction is said to be displacement, and same way the shortest length between the initial and final position is said to be displacement. This is what the definition of distance displacement. Here, look at here. In the last class we completed about distance. In the last class we completed about distance. In the last class we completed about distance, but we are going to learn now displacement. What is mean by displacement? Distance in a specified direction. Why distance in a specified direction? Because the displacement is a vector quantity. So write down displacement is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector, and units for that is the reason the distance having in a specified direction is said to be a displacement, because it is a unit. This is a vector. And next displacement units are meter, centimeter and kilometer and so on. This is the way we can define meter, centimeter, kilometer. Likewise, we can define the units for the displacement. And next, let's talk about some examples. Let's take about some examples. This is your office. This is your home. This is office. This is home. This is A. This is B. Now, from A to B, we have a path like this is the way we have a path. This is the way the path we have. To travel from A to B, we must go through along this path. To travel A to B, we must travel in this path. So this path length is said to be distance. Actually, this path length is said to be distance. But whereas the shortest distance between A and B will be this. The shortest length between A and B will be this. So this, let us take this is path A and this is path 1, this is path 2. Here path 1 is shortest length between initial and final position. Path 2 is shortest length between initial and final position. Path 1 is a path followed by the object. Path followed by the object is path 1. And path 2 is shortest length between the initial and final position. Since path 1 is called distance and path 2 is called displacement. Path 2 is called displacement, path 1 is called distance. So here distance not having in a specified direction, but the displacement has a specified direction, that is A to B. A to B is the distance, A to B is the displacement and its direction is A to B, and the magnitude of the displacement is the length of the path will be given by the magnitude of the displacement. So that is how we can explain the example of displacement. This is example 1 you can take. Same way, let's take one more example. Example number 2. If I take example number 2, a object is moving, a person or object moving in a upward direction say north. The object is moving, started at A, position A, and moving north direction. Let us take the 2 kilometers. He moved north direction 2 kilometers. Then after he turned east direction and reached to position B, but here he traveled 4 kilometers. Okay, this is you can take 2 kilometers. This is A, this is you can take 2 kilometers, and this is you can take 4 kilometers. This is the way the person have traveled. So here in this case, what is the distance traveled and displacement traveled by the person? Distance traveled and displacement traveled by the person. So the distance travel is when he traveling from north direction, he covered 2 kilometers. When he traveled east direction, he covered 4 kilometers. Since the distance traveled by the person is 2 kilometer plus 4 kilometer, since it is the distance you can take as a S. S is equal to 2 plus 4, which is equal to 6 kilometer. This is the distance traveled by the person, 6 kilometer. Whereas displacement, what is the mean by displacement? Displacement is nothing but the shortest length between initial and final position. Then what is the shortest length between initial and final position? This is the initial position, this is the final position. This is going to be the shortest length between initial and final position. This is 2 kilometers. Now tell me one thing, what is this length? This length you can find by using Pythagoras theorem. If I use, it is looking like a right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle, the shortest length appears like a hypotenuse. So you can write hypotenuse as S. So hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. From here, hypotenuse is equal to 4 plus 16, 4 plus 16, which equal to 20 kilometer, root 20 kilometer is your shortest distance between final and initial position. This is how you can find the one example. This is example number 2. Next, let's take one more example. The one more example is a person is traveling in a circular path. Person traveling in a circular path. The center of the circular path is this, and the radius of the circular path is 10 meters. Radius of the circular path is 10 meters, and a person is traveling in a circular path. Look at here. Let us take the person started at here A, and he complete one cycle. He completed one cycle. When he completed one cycle, what is the distance traveled by the person? What is the displacement traveled by the person? When he complete one cycle, what is the displacement traveled by the person? Distance traveled by the person. So look at here, the distance and displacement I am asking for one complete rotation. Let me take first of all distance. Distance I am representing with letter S. Okay. Then S is equal to the distance traveled with the person in this case is nothing but the circumference of the circle or the perimeter of the circle. Then the perimeter is 2 pi r. Then S is equal to 2 pi into what is r here? R is nothing but 10. So totally 20 pi is your distance traveled by the person. 20 pi is your distance traveled by the person. Similar way, one more question also we are asking, that is displacement traveled by the person in one cycle. Displacement is nothing but shortest length between initial and final position. So here the person started at A and reached to the A when he complete one cycle. Since the distance traveled by the person is equal to 0, so the distance is 20 pi meter and the displacement is 0 when he complete one cycle. Similar way, in the same data, with the same data, we can give one more question. With the same data, we can try one more problem. The problem is, the person started at A. The person started at A and reached to exactly opposite point B. Reached to exactly opposite point B. So that means he covered half of the circle. When he covered half of the circle, what is the distance and what is the displacement covered by the person? What is the distance? What is the displacement covered by the person? Yeah. Avinash, is my voice is audible? Avinash? Avinash, is my voice is audible? Yeah, anyhow. Now, when he complete one half cycle, what is the distance and displacement covered by the person? See here, he started at A and reached to B. So in this case, distance let me take as S. That is nothing but half of the circumference. Half of the circumference I can write as a 2 pi r by 2. So 2 gets cancelled. Then S is equal to pi into r value is 10 meters. Since 10 pi meters is your distance traveled by the person. This is the 10 pi is the distance traveled by the person. Next, in the same thing, displacement covered by the man. Because the man is started at here and reached to the position B. In this case, what is the displacement covered by the man? You know, displacement covered by the man is the shortest length between initial and final position. Here, initial position is A and final position is B. Then this is going to be your shortest path. That is nothing but diameter of the circle. Then diameter is equal to 2 times of the radius. Since I can write displacement is equal to 2 times of the radius. Since 2 into 10 into, so 20 meters is your displacement. When object covers half cycle, then distance going to be your 10 pi meters. Then displacement going to be your 25 meters. That is how we can explain distance and displacement. Next, let's go for other example. The other example, this is actually example number 3. Example number 3. Let me take another example. The other example is example number 3. Sorry, example number 4. In this example number 4, let's take a square path, a mosquito traveling in a square path. Let me take a mosquito. The mosquito roaming in a square path. when it is roaming in a square path, let me give the name of the square path. This is A, B, C, D is a square path. It is a square path. It is a square path name. Now mosquito started at here. Mosquito started at here and traveling along this A to B, B to C and C to D. In this case, what going to be your distance and displacement covered by the mosquito? Two questions I am asking. One is what? Distance. One more is what? Displacement. So distance and displacement covered by the mosquito when he started at here and reached to D position. Actually, the square path length is 5 meters. The square path length is 5 meters. If the square path side length is 5 meters, now what going to be a distance and displacement covered by the mosquito. So mosquito started at A and reached to B along this AB, BC and CD path. So it is traveled this 5 meters, and even this is the 5 meters, even this 5 meter is traveled when it is traveling along this path. Since the distance, let us take as x in this case, the distance is equal to how many 5 meters it is traveled? 1, 2, 3. So the distance become 15 meters for the mosquito when it is started at A and reached to D position. And similar manner, what going to be a displacement or traveled by the mosquito when it is started at A reaching to the D position? Just now I said the distance traveled by displacement traveled by the anything is nothing but the shortest length between initial and final position. The shortest length between initial and final position is this 5 meters. Since the displacement become 5 meters. So here distance is 15 meters, displacement is 5 meters when the mosquito traveling A to B, B to C, C to D path. So this is how we can explain the distance thing. Let's go for another physical quantity to explain about motion of the object, that is the speed. Let me take the speed. Speed, write down speed. Speed. Simply I can tell the speed relation. Speed is nothing but the rate of change in displacement. The rate of change in displacement. Change in displacement. The rate of change in displacement is said to be speed, and also other way also I can define the speed, that is the direction, the distance covered in unit time. The distance covered in unit time is said to be speed. The distance covered in unit time is said to be speed. Let's take the formula. By seeing the second statement, the distance generally represented with letter V, then V is equal to distance by time, simply. See here, by using this, distance is a scalar quantity, which means the speed also scalar quantity. Since you can write speed is a scalar quantity. The same thing, distance units for the distance. Look at here, distance units, speed units. Here speed is nothing but distance by time. When distance is meter and time is second, so meter per second is this speed units. Write down units for speed. Speed units. Distance. Speed units. Meter per second. Even we can define kilometer per hour also. kilometer per hour, meter per second is the units for speed, meter per second is a SI unit, kilometer per hour is a practical unit for speed. So let's take the conversion between meter per second and kilometer per hour. 1 meter per second is equal to how many kilometer per hour? 1 meter per second is equal to how many kilometer per hour? You know, let me take here 1 meter is equal to 10 power minus 3 kilometer. 1 second is equal to 1 second is equal to 1 by 3600 hours. 1 second is equal to 1 by 3600 seconds. Since I can write this as a 3600 hours, 3600 by 1000, so 10, these two get cancelled. If I take the 2 table, 2 5s are 2 18s are, since 18 by 5 kilometer per hour is equal to 1 meter per second, this is the conversion factor. So this conversion is helping you in the future coming problems. So 1 meter per second is equal to what? 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. Similar way, one more conversion. 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1 kilometer per hour is equal to how many meter per second? 1 kilometer per hour is equal to how many meter per second? See, as you know, 1 kilometer is equal to 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1 kilometer is equal to 10 power 3 meter. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Since 10 power 3 means 1000 by 3600 in meter per second. This one gets cancelled. 2 5s are 2 18s are. So 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. This is also one conversion relation is helping you to find the solutions. Better note down. Next, let's go for average speed. Better write down. Average speed is very important. Average speed. Average speed we represent with letter V average. The average speed is nothing but total distance by total time taken. Total time taken for covering the distance. Average speed is nothing but total distance by total time taken. Let's take total distance. We can represent with delta S. Total time taken represent with delta T. Since this is you are going to be a average speed formula. This average speed formula, if I observe, total distance units are meter, total time taken also units are units are seconds. Since average speed units are meter per second, even we will define kilometer per hour also because it is a practical unit of speed. Similar way, average speed is a scalar quantity. Average speed is a scalar quantity and units for scalar quantity are meter per second. Okay, so this is the way we can define the average speed. Let's do some cases related to average speed. So the cases are, first thing, case 1. Let me take a object started at A and move it to B position, and from B to C it is moved. But when the object moving from A to B, it is traveling with V1 speed. and in t1 time. Similar way, when traveling from B to C, it is traveled with the v2 time and t2 time. It is traveling t2 time. In this traveling from A to C, what is going to be this average velocity of the vehicular body. Average velocity of the body when it is traveling from A to B and B to C with the different speeds. Then average speed, just now we taken the average speed as average speed as total distance by total time taken. Okay, total distance by total time taken. Total distance, we don't know total distance, but how to find the total distance? We can find the total distance by using, initially you can treat for A to B as a x1 distance traveled, for B to C you can take x2 distance traveled. So total distance become x1 and x1 plus x2. So V average is equal to total distance is x1 and x2 by total time taken is t1 plus t2. Total distance is x1 plus x2. Total time taken is t1 plus t2. In this case, but we don't know x1 and x2 values. x1 and x2 values we don't know. But we don't know only thing, distance time taken for the distance A to B, time taken for distance B to C, and the speeds only we know that. By using that hints, you can write a distance as x1 as v1 t1, x2 as v2 t2. These two things if I apply in this relation, x1 is equal to v1 t1 plus v2 t2 by t1 plus t2. So this is your average speed formula for given situation. Now in this case, if T1 and T2, if T1 and T2 is equal to something, T means T1 and T2 timings are same. Distance travel from A to B, B to C, the timings are same. Then how this average formula will change? This average formula will change as V average is equal to, tell me, V average is equal to V1T plus V2T by T1 plus T2 become 2T. So then V average is equal to V1 plus V2 by 2 into T. Then TT gets cancelled, then V average is equal to V1 plus V2 by 2. This is your average average speed when it is traveling with same time. Next one, another also we can define another case 2. The case 2 is object traveling from A to B and B to C, but A to B is travelled V1 speed and B to C is travelled with V2 speed, but A to B is covered distance is let us take as S1, B to C covered distance as S2. In this case, what is the average speed formula? You know, average speed formula every time is this only. So here in this case, average speed is equal to total distance by total time taken. Total distance is S1 plus S2. Total time taken is not given. Then for that, I'll take time taken for A to B is let us take as a t1. Time taken for b2 is t2. So here I can write t1 plus t2. But we don't, in the problem they did not mention the times. When the problem did not mention the time, then how do you take this t1 t2? We can write t1 t2. T1 you can write s1 by v1. t2 you can write s2 by v2. So by using these two relations, I can write v average as s1 plus s2 by s1 by v1 plus s2 by v2. But in this case, if s1 and s2 become yes, when s1 and s2 become yes, this average formula going to be changed. This average speed going to be changed as 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. This is how the average speed will change. So better write down. This is how the average speed will change as 2v1 by v1 plus v2. Note down. This is case 1, this is case 2. In the case 1, the data mentioned as speeds and times. In case 2, the data mentioned as speeds and distances. So in the two cases, this is going to be average, this is going to be average speeds. Next, let's write once again the formulas in other session. So here two relations. One relation is v average is equal to v1 plus v2 by 2. One more formula is v average is equal to 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. One more formula is average formula is total distance by total time taken. So this final formula you can apply for all situations. This is a general formula. The final formula is what? General formula for average speed. When you use this second formula, you will use this second formula when distances are equal. In two situations, an object is traveling from A to B and B to C. In two cases, it has different speeds. When it is having different speeds, but it's covering same distance, then this formula is useful for finding the average speed. Similar way, this average and this average formula will get when times are equal, when T1 and T2 are equal, T1 and T2 are equal, which means the object is traveling A to B and B to C, but it is having different speeds as V1 and V2, but the distance covered, time taken is same for both situations. In that case, we'll use this as an average speed formula. So this is how the formulas is applicable. Yeah, this is how the formulas is applicable to find the average speed in different situations. Okay, I hope you have understood this class. Tomorrow we'll continue with other topic. The other topic is this. Today we completed at speed. Tomorrow we start the velocity, and later we'll start the acceleration. So today I'll stop the session. Thank you. Bye.